So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and a response to Spud at Chilling Wargamers, who nominated me on his video about I am a Wargamer. I am a Wargamer. Very nice of him to do that. Most of the people I think who watch Chilling Wargames tend to be into the 40k and the Warhammer type world, which I'm not. I'm a grey-haired old historic gamer, so very nice of him to let the OAPs join the ranks of the videos. But I do love these sort of community chats. I think they're good. They're a good way to get to know other streamers, other YouTubers, and get to know some new channels. I always find some new channels when I'm doing these things. He gave us 4 questions, I think it was. First one is, I've got them all written down here because otherwise I'll forget. What got you into the hobby? So I got started in the hobby when I was probably about 11 years old. 10 or 11 years old. It's difficult to know really, because it's when the hobby really started. It's a bit sort of vague. So as early as I can remember, I was into military history. I loved it. I was fascinated by it. The first book I ever read, in fact I've got it here somewhere. How weird a child was I? The first book I ever read properly was this one, The Mongol Empire by M. Prodin, sorry. And I absolutely was fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated by the Mongols and their empires, and then moved on to the Romans and everything since. And anything to do with military history, particularly military history. I used to go down to the local library. You remember those things used to exist? Local libraries don't anymore. Back in the black and white days when I lived, you could go down the library, and I used to just scour the bookshelves for books about military history. They could be anything that covered it, and I would read about every single period of history pretty much. But in those days I didn't really game as such. I played with plastic Airfix figures. They were little tiny things. Well, in fact, no, I had the big ones. They were, I guess you'd call them 54mm now. They were big ones, and me and my mate Dave used to play with them. We had thousands of them, and spread them all over my family home on the landing above the stairs. We'd play there for hours, you know, throwing marbles and tennis balls, and then pretty soon, you know, shoes and anything else we get hands on at each other's troops just to fight it out. But I wouldn't really call any of that wargaming, right? And I used to do D&D back in the day when it was all paper, and don't think there was even any models back then. But so that was that really wargaming? I don't know. But what really got me into wargaming was then I went to school, and a good mate of mine at the time at school, he invited me back to his folks' house one night, one afternoon I think after school, and his dad was busy painting up 15mm Napoleonic figures, and it was just like, wow, my whole world just went woof. He was reproducing every single regiment that was in the Confederacy of the Rhine during the Napoleonic War, which was really the first proper First World War. The French, under Napoleon, basically told all the Germanic states. In those days Germany wasn't one country, it was a range of different principalities and kingdoms, and it basically set up this Confederacy of the Rhine to sort of an alliance, a confederacy of states, and they each provided troops, and even down to individual city-states, you know, cities that were just, that was the country, it was one city, would provide a few companies of troops, and they'd be combined into battalions. But of course it meant every single battalion was different, every single regiment was different, and he spent ages just painting all these figures, and they were 15mm figures, and he used to fight them, and that's just went bang in my head. It's like, wow. And from there on in I was a wargamer. I was hooked, completely hooked. In those days I couldn't afford many figures. In that is, there weren't many figures to be had. There were about 2 or 3 manufacturers, minifigs, and there was Hinchcliffe and a few others that I forget now, and I just slowly collected figures, but always wanted a massive collection of figures, and I gamed and I gamed and I gamed. So that's how I got into the hobby. Question was, why did you start your channel? So I started my channel up because I just wanted to have a go at it, really. I wanted to do it. I used to have a YouTube channel, I still do, it's still there, a YouTube channel for World of Tanks, the online multiplayer game, and I used to do videos there, and I think it's a long time since I've looked. I think I've got 1,700, 1,600 subscribers there. And I used to enjoy doing the videos, and I actually realised I liked doing the videos. It was fun. I enjoyed doing the videos more than I did the game. I'd fallen out with love with the game, but I carried on doing the videos. And so when I started to do a lot more gaming, and I joined one of the local wargaming clubs, I thought, well, why not just, if I enjoy doing the video and I love wargaming, why not just forget doing the videos for the video game that I'm not so bothered about anymore? Why not go and make videos for my gaming that I love doing? So that's what I did. So that's how it started. I just literally took the camera down to the local club, checked with everybody they were happy for me to video the game, and just videoed the games and started to show some of those off. Started to do some unboxing videos, which weren't terribly successful because they were crap, and just started to do things. As I said before, just do it, just give it a go. Where would I like to go with my channel? So my channel, Boots on the Table with Dom, I don't really have a particular big master plan. I wish I could say I did. It's really about having fun. It's always been about documenting my gaming habits and what I'm working on, and I'm always amazed that and frankly pleased that people enjoy watching them and finding out what I've been doing. So I show battle reports when I'm able to have battles, adventures in my wargaming experience, I guess. So battle reports with all the different rule sets that I play with, some of the figures that I've painted up, collections I've made, rule sets, you name it, anything to do with the history of the hobby. But it's almost entirely historical, although latterly I have got into the old fantasy stuff. So I used to do a bit of, have done a bit of Saga, Age of Magic, which is fantasy, but really until my my mate Ken from Miniature Wargames, he gave me for my birthday a box set of Mantic Orcs, and that was my first venture into that, and I just had my first fantasy game the other night, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it using the Oathmark rules. Really historical is my thing, and what do I want, where do I want to go with it? I don't know, just carry on doing more of the same, really. It's quite gratifying, and I won't lie, to have subscriber count growing. I think when I'm doing this video, I'm just about to hit 800 subscribers, which is absolutely sensational. So if I can hit 1,000 by the end of the summer, that would be absolutely stunning. But really, it's about doing things I really enjoy. So, I mean, I'm getting to the other end of my career age where I might actually be looking to retire at some point soon. And I would love to be able to do this a lot more regularly, to be able to set up to run battle reports, to maybe stream them live, to have subscribers or just friends joining in, either there in person or over the web, and fight battles that way. I think that would be fantastic. So, I just really want to do more of the same, really, is the honest truth. What advice would you give somebody getting into making videos? Just do it. Just do it. I think there's this mystique about doing it, and I think until you actually start doing it, you don't realise that actually most of us are just making up as we go along. You don't have to have all the big flash equipment. You can just use your smartphone, you can use your webcam, whatever it may be. You just have a go. Just have a go. I think there definitely is an appetite from people. I watch all kinds of channels myself, and I know everyone else does too. You know, I watch Spud and Elstrom and the guys doing Chilling Wargamers, which isn't really my period at all. But I love the videos. I love watching what they do. I don't understand half of what they do, but I do like it, and I love joining their streams because it's just full of fun. And I think that's what it is. Is people? There's all sorts of channels out there for all sorts of people. So just crack on, give it a go. Give it a go. Don't be too precious about it. You will get better as you go along. It's hard just to do this and talk in front of the camera. Well, for most people it is. So, you know, just gently does it. And as you move forward, you get more used to doing it. But have the confidence to try. Well, the first few times I showed my figures on the channel, I was very nervous about doing so because for me they weren't particularly brilliant. But almost that was the point, right? It was to show that, you know, somebody like me who doesn't consider themselves to be a very good painter, and I still don't consider myself to be a very good, I'm a functional painter. You can show off your figures and people would go, "Oh, that's interesting." You know, or there's a technique that he used there that I could use and get better. And I do that. I look at people's painting and I go, "Well, that's interesting. I'll just pinch that little technique that they're using and apply it on mine." Or, you know what, I won't do it quite like that. I'll just do that, but I'll do this instead there because that's really clever. And you refine, you improve. So just do it. Just get out and do it. It's always great to see these sort of community response videos. So everyone who's nominated, please get out and do it. So in my part, I'm going to nominate 3 people as requested. So I'm going to nominate first of all my mate Ken at Miniature Wargames Warriors. See, I got it right, mate, this time. To answer these questions. So basically, what got you into the hobby? Why did you start the channel? Where do you see it going forward in the next 5 years? And what advice would you give to somebody else setting up the channel? Those are the questions, I think, unless I got them wrong. So Ken, you're up next. Also, I'm going to nominate Martin from Seventh Son. Both of them fantastic channels for historical gaming primarily. I mean, Ken does a little bit of 40k occasionally, I think. But actually, no, more bolt action now than anything else. And Seventh Son does a load of all sorts of things, Black Powder and various other historical stuff, and also some Lord of the Rings and some of the gunfighter stuff that I forget the name of now. So Martin, you're up too. Answer those questions in a video. Thirdly, let's go with Steve from On Point HQ. He has a really good channel if you're into sort of almost mini dioramas in your tabletop gaming. He does some outstanding stuff. Primarily he does Second World War bolt action stuff, but he's brilliant at the whole dioramaing of a base. So, you know, his sniper bases, for instance, are phenomenal. They're like little dioramas, right? Really cool stuff. He also does a huge amount of kit bashing, which is really entertaining. So go and check out all 3 of those channels if you aren't already following them. And so Ken, Martin and Steve, you're on the blocks now, boys. Anyway, thanks very much for listening this far. If you did, appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, click that like and subscribe button. Thanks very much, Spud, for doing this. Really appreciate being nominated. Wasn't expecting to be in the first wave. Thank you so much for that. Sorry it's taken me a little while to get around to doing it, and I hope you had a great holiday, mate. See you again soon. This is Dom, signing out.